News Update Coronavirus April 8, 2020. Note, this is a collaborative video made between Travel for All Fanpage and Knowledge of Coronavirus channel. Please respectfully welcome everyone. The following is the remarkable news most on April 8 as follows. 1. Tracking COVID-19 cases in the U.S. Last updated April 8, 2020 at 7:30 p.m. ET. The total number of infected people in the U.S. has been 429,052. Number of deaths, 14,695. Last updated April 8, 2020 at 7:30 p.m. ET. Source, Johns Hopkins University Center for Systems Science and Engineering. New York has become the epicenter of the country's outbreak, with 151,061 confirmed cases and 6,268 deaths so far. When adjusted for population, that translates to roughly 777 known cases and 32 deaths for every 100,000 residents. While coronavirus deaths in the U.S. surpassed 14,000, new cases are tending to decrease and future predictions are better than expected. There are rumors spreading online that hot drinks have an anti-corona effect. This is one of many fake news being shared, which has given false medical advice. Ron Eccles, a respiratory disease expert at Cardiff University in the UK and a former director of the Common Cold Centre, said there was no evidence that hot drinks would protect people against viral infections. Hot drinks can ease discomfort. But more than ever, the best way to protect yourself from COVID-19 virus is to follow social spacing measures, wash your hands with soap and water after touching potentially contaminated surfaces, and follow official medical advice, updated regularly. There are also some false claims that heat compounds have protective effects against COVID-19 virus, but there is no scientific evidence to support this. 3. As of 7 a.m. April 8, the total number of COVID-19 cases globally has reached 1,425,468 cases, including more than 81,939 deaths and 301,788 recovery cases. In the U.S., nearly 2,000 people died in 24 hours, while France surpassed 10,000 deaths. Statistics from Johns Hopkins University as of April 7 show that 1,939 people died from COVID-19 within 24 hours. The record death toll has brought the total number of deaths in the U.S. to the disease to 14,695. Close to the country with the heaviest damage from the coronavirus so far is Italy, 17,172 deaths. The total number of COVID-19 cases in the U.S. is 429,052. 4. Many cities in Japan have asked people to refrain from going out. Immediately after Prime Minister Abe Shinzo declared a state of emergency for 7 cities in Japan, the capital of Tokyo asked residents to restrict their departure from April 8. The city government of Osaka and other cities also require people not to go out, except for cases of buying food, going to work and seeing a doctor. Especially require people to restrict the crowded dining areas in the evening. 5. South Korea recorded many new infections. Yonhap News Agency cited data from the Korean Disease Control and Prevention Agency, KCDC, showing that the number of COVID-19 cases in Korea increased to 10,384 cases after recording 53 new cases. The number of deaths increased by 8, totaling 200. The rate of patients recovered was 65.2%, a total of 6,776 people recovered. Prime Minister Chun Sai-kyung said on April 8 that South Korea would temporarily suspend visa-free programs for countries that impose a ban on entry for Korean nationals because of the COVID-19 epidemic to prevent imported cases. The Korean government will also extend a restriction on entry for foreigners traveling without necessary and urgent purposes. The Korean government will also extend a restriction on entry for foreigners traveling without necessary and urgent purposes. Seoul, South Korea has decided to close 422 bars, nightclubs and other entertainment venues until April 19, 2026. Thailand recorded 111 more cases and 3 deaths. 3 people died in Thailand, including a 48-year-old Russian, a 69-year-old Indian, and a 69-year-old American, according to Reuters. Since the outbreak of COVID-19 in January, 2,369 people in Thailand have been infected with coronavirus. 30 have died and 888 have recovered. 7. According to Reuters, the House of Representatives of the Czech Republic, on April 7, passed a decision allowing the government to extend the state of emergency until April 30 due to the complicated development of the COVID-19 epidemic. The Czech Republic has enacted most measures to limit the freedom of movement, close a large number of shops and ban many service activities. Currently, the Czech Republic has 5,017 cases of COVID-19 and 88 deaths. 8. The National Health Commission of China on April 8 morning recorded 62 more new infections, up from 32 cases the day before. As of April 7, the country's number of imported COVID-19 cases is still 1,042 cans. Thus, the total number of COVID-19 cases in China so far is 81,802 cases, according to Reuters. Since midnight on April 8 local time, Wuhan City, the capital of Hubei province, China has officially lifted the blockade that was implemented after 77 days. Despite the lifting of the blockade, the city authorities still require people to be very vigilant because the absence of a new case does not mean the risk will end. 9. Russia news. After a week of giving people paid leave, Russian President Vladimir Putin decided to extend the validity period until the end of April in the national message. The number of COVID-19 infections in Russia has risen to 3,548, while the potential for risk increases sharply in the coming days. Russian Deputy Prime Minister Tatiana Golikova was the first to propose to extend the length of stay in people's homes. Putin said at a meeting with government officials that the epidemic has not yet reached its peak in Russia and around the world. 10. As of April 7, Canada has confirmed 17,063 cases of COVID-19 and 345 deaths, with nursing home deaths accounting for nearly half of all COVID-19 deaths in Canada. Provinces in the country are controlling their workforce, raising caregiver salaries and paying workers. Health inspectors at hospitals to prevent coronavirus from spreading in the elderly. Our newsletter is now over. Thank you for always watching and supporting our videos. Knowledge of coronavirus, channel and travel for all fantage respectfully, and see you in the next video.